I spent 10 years, a decade, making Roblox games. In this video, I'm going to show you the progress I've made over the years, what I've learned, what I've earned, and the milestones I reached. So this is the first game I ever created, Destroy the Noob Army, created March 13, 2015, exactly 10 years ago as of today. I made this game back when I was 9 years old. As you can see, pretty much exactly what the title entails, quite riveting gameplay. Typical first game. To be honest, I don't really know how I made this game because I don't think I had a PC. I had no idea what I was doing, so I just went and found some models and dropped them in. Over the next few years I followed many tutorials to try and make something cool, but they just never amounted to much. This one was supposed to be a mini-game with a lobby system, but I never got it working. Fast forward a few years later, I made this horror obby game and learned some mild scripting. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad until you realize the game ends in about 10 seconds. Now this is the point where I was like, you know what, I think I'm ready to make something big. I got a few other guys on board to work on an open world dungeon crawler game. As you can see, clearly I had my priorities straight. Got the owner's title, some overhead UI. I did figure out how to get a sword to equip through a button, but not much other than that. It was not organized at all. We just built stuff not thinking about what we should make first, and later realized we didn't actually know how to make the parts we needed for the game. In my experience, there is a 100% chance for a dev to jump right into the dream game and get frustrated that they can't make it yet. I don't want to bore you guys with the numerous games I haven't finished, so I'm going to jump to the first game I did finish and the first game that made me some profit. This one was a very simple incremental made about 6 years ago. This is where I first started learning how to script things on my own instead of always following a tutorial. We've got some cutting edge UI that you can very much tell that I made by myself, and some beautiful leaderboards to show the top players. Now I was going to show you guys the monetization page and what this game made, but sadly I found out all the old data was wiped. But I think this game made around 500 to 1,000 Robux, which was huge for me at this time. This was a large milestone for me because I'd never spent a penny on Roblox, so I had no money to sponsor my games, which is an easy way to get your game out there. Meet Tropes. It is now 2020. This is the first time I started working with someone else and finished in multiple games. This is where you can start seeing some improvement with each game better than the last. The first game I made of Tropes was Clicking Legends, another incremental clicking game. But instead of 600 visits, this one got over 8,000. The UI improved a little bit, and this game had way more progression involved. I think overall we ended up making around 5,000 Robux from this game, and it was also my first game that I sponsored with Robux from a previous game. The next game we made was a button simulator that amounted to 15,000 visits, almost double the last game. But this game was short-lasted, because I'm pretty sure there was a memory leak in my code somewhere that bogged it down over time until it was just unplayable. At the time of making this game, I just wasn't knowledgeable enough to figure out what was wrong with the game, and ended up giving up on the project. Overall, I think this game made us around 5 to 10,000 Robux, which were huge milestones at the time. Also, if you guys want me to remake any of these games with the new knowledge I have, just let me know down below and I just might do it. This next game was the best and last game I made of Tropes. Crate Opening Incremental. We ended up getting almost 250,000 visits, smashing the other games out of the water. This game was made about a year after the button simulator, and I really started getting the hang of programming in Lua. The premise of this game was that you buy crates of money that is auto-generated, and that each next crate would have higher rarity multipliers that compound on the previous multipliers. Each crate would also have an EXP amount tied to it, which would eventually level you up to unlock new areas. Each new area would have its own reset layers that reset your stats for new currency, and this new currency would let you buy powerful upgrades to boost your progression. Sadly, this game is still out of reach for the analytics, but the game reached around 500 concurrent players at its best and profited 500,000 Robux. A couple months later, this guy named Franky was working on a game called Coffee Incremental. Then I received this message. Little did I know I'd make 3 more games with this guy. I helped him make a leaderboard, and then I ended up just joining his project and finished the game with him. He also knew another guy by the user Soggy, who was a good 2D artist. We ended up commissioning Soggy for all the art in this game. Then Franky worked on the UI while I scripted and also taught him some scripting. But for my first game with Franky, we got 25,000 visits, surpassing my second game with Tropes. This game was pretty fun to make, but I feel like Roblox just doesn't have much of an audience for 2D games. This game profited around 10 to 15,000 Robux. The next game I made with Franky was called Dice Incremental. We ended up getting 250,000 visits on this game. Out of all the incremental games I've made, I enjoyed making this one the most. After the game died, we ended up selling the group, which included Coffee Incremental. Which, let me just say, the people that bought the group did nothing with the games. They added some microtransactions to Dice Incremental and that was it. But 1 year later, Franky ended up buying back the group, so now I have ownership of both the games again. RNG games started becoming popular around this time, and Franky had the idea to make an RNG game as a joke. We came up with the random idea to make an RNG game based on countries, which sounds absurd. Soggy started working with us, and we made the prototype within about a week or two. This game ended up being my best game. The joke idea, the game we made in a week, ended up getting 2.5 million visits and a 94% like ratio. The idea was that the players would roll for countries, and the higher the GDP that the country had, the rarer the country would be. Almost every country was in the game based on data that I found, and then refactored with code. At first, the rarest thing in the game was the USA. To get more luck to roll such countries, you could trade in countries for their respective GDP that would allow you to buy some new upgrades. I think this game did really well because of the very smooth progression. At first you'd buy some basic upgrades, but as you play, you could try and unlock badges that would give you more luck, or trade in a set of specific rarity to upgrade your dice overall. Also, the reason this map looks a bit strange is because this isn't actually the game in its prime. This is just a recreation of what the game looked like back then. As you know, there's only so many countries out there, and the game got pretty popular, so to update the game we decided to add continents. The cool thing about adding continents was that we decided that each continent you collect would expand your map to unlock new pieces of the game. There were many secrets around the map that would give you badges, but one of the most fun secrets was that you could equip flags, and the rarest flags would have a ladder on it that your friends could climb up. The rarer the flag, the bigger the flag would be, and eventually you could reach this floating island. Somebody made this work of art that perfectly depicts what I'm talking about. Now for the part you guys have been waiting for. In our best month, this game earned 2.5 million Robux, not including premium payouts. Now if you're interested, this is a breakdown of where the Robux came from and microtransactions. And this is the breakdown for game passes. And for the final count, this is the Robux earned from premium payouts. So overall, the game made around 3.5 million Robux during that month. Now there's still someone that I haven't mentioned yet who's been working with me for at least 6 years now. This is Sam, the absolute genius. This guy taught me pretty much everything back when I was learning early on. If I hadn't met this guy, I would not have all the cool projects that I have today. Next I'm going to show you guys the coolest projects I've made, not just the ones that made me a profit. But before that, I just want to thank you for making it this far into the video. At the time of making this video, I only have 8 subscribers, so if you like my content, feel free to subscribe, but if you don't, that's fine too. I'm not sure the direction I want to take this channel in, but I plan to make some scripting tutorials. If you have any ideas, feel free to comment them down below. Now let's get back into the video. One of my main goals since forever is to master every aspect of making a game. And one major part of making a game is the sound design. So I actually made this song in the background in FL Studio a while back for practice. And I'll just play songs I've made for the rest of this video. But you may be questioning, what is going on in front of me? This is a maze generator that I made after Sam challenged me to do it, and I didn't believe him when he said I could. This is a common theme between us, and honestly it's a really good practice. It really expands your idea of what you think you can make. Now the next game Sam and I challenge each other to make is a map generator. This uses a really cool concept called Perlin noise. This concept is widely used, even in popular games like Minecraft. It's basically just a map of values ranging from low to high, and I can use it to generate a height map. One of the more fun challenges I gave myself was to use Roblox's template and try to make a rough game within a day. Since Roblox already had most of the systems built in for me, I pretty much just had a lot of fun making different guns and building a cool map to fight in. The game is honestly a lot of fun to play, and I think it has some good potential. This next game is the coolest game I made in my opinion. I made this game with Sam for the 2025 Roblox Game Jam in just a couple days. The theme given was break the system, and we didn't want to just do something ordinary, so we took it in a metaphoric way, breaking the loop. The game looks very unfinished in many ways and is pretty short, but I think we got most of the story down. I think we could easily expand on the idea, but it would take some time for this type of game. We had many cool ideas we wanted to add, like a reverse time mechanic. We could make a lot of puzzles with just the glitch effect and reverse time, but there's only so much you can do in 2 days. The last game I'm going to show you guys is a factory game I made with Sam that was inspired by Satisfactory. In this game we managed to get conveyors working along with extractors without ever using any physics. This is way more consistent and also just faster overall. And also, as you can see, the map was generated using noise to generate forests and plains and could easily be expanded to include some new biomes. This was just a prototype and we stopped working on it since this point, but maybe we'll come back and finish it. So that's going to be it for my 10 years of Roblox development. If you liked the video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to put a link to almost every game I've shown in the description if you guys want to try them out for yourselves. And thanks for watching.